Section 21. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After hearing what Lu Qingchen said, Han Meng's eyes were red, and she was almost moved to tears. It seems that this girl is right. This little guy still has some conscience. Lu Yan muttered in her heart. Okay, master won't push you to anyone else, don't worry. Han Meng stared at Lu Qingchen with her big dark blue eyes and said softly. At this moment, Yushan was stunned. Brother Chen's operation was really impressive. I saw Lu Qingchen grinning. This is right, master, don't be moved to tears. Han Meng saw that Lu Qingchen was comforting himself, rolled his eyes, and said with a smile through tears. I'm not impressed. You'll feel better if you choose me as your master. Lu Qingchen was shocked. Is there something else I don't know about? I saw Han Meng exhorting at this time. I have to report back to the academy first. You two must not show your martial arts spirit before going to the academy. You can come to the college when the admission notice from the college comes out, and someone will meet you then. Xiaoyan, after sending back the students who have been assessed in the past 2 days, you can finish the matters there and then go back to the academy. If the admission notice is issued soon, you can bring Yushan and Xiaochen to the academy with you. Master, are you leaving? Lu Yan said worriedly. Otherwise, the monsters from other worlds are becoming more and more restless, and many instructors in the academy have already gone to the front. I have to kill more monsters from other worlds to exchange some resources for you to practice. After saying that, Han Meng opened the door and left in a hurry. Seeing Lu Yan's worried look, Lu Qingchen asked curiously. Teacher Lu Yan, where did the master go to kill the monsters? Master should be going to the front lines of the other world, but there will still be a while. As for the other world, you will understand it after you enter the academy. Also, don't call me mentor, call me senior sister. Do I look that young? Lu Yan suddenly looked as if her master had left me. Senior sister, do you have a meeting gift? Lu Qingchen laughed. Okay, you should call me mentor. After a while, I will have to go to another world to kill monsters to earn some credits. I am so poor. Lu Yan sighed. Lu Qingchen, Omega. I don't have any money either. It was almost time for dinner, and the three of them went to the restaurant canteen together. At this time, all the students from Class 7 of Qingchen No. 1 Middle School were here, as were the head teacher Da Huang and all the school leaders. Da Huang and the leaders were all smiling. So many students in the class were admitted to Wuhuan University, which made them feel that this year's bonuses were stable again. Da Huang, the head teacher, began to imagine what would happen after his promotion. It's just that they didn't know that 2 talented students in the class just now were almost assassinated and turned into corpses. Lu Qingchen and the others had no intention of telling them. After all, there was no use except making others worry. The students were chatting among themselves. Su Xian, Zhang Wei, although you two can't go to Wuhuan University, you can go to a famous liberal arts school. In this way, you can find a better job in the future. Zhang Ying comforted the two. Su Man also nodded. Instructor Lu Yan also said that it may be dangerous after going to Wuhuan University. Although I don't know the reason, it is at least safe for you to enter a prestigious liberal arts school, and your parents at home will not be too worried. Hong Bing also nodded repeatedly, indicating that the 2 female classmates were right. Seeing Lu Qingchen, Yushan and Lu Yan coming together, Hong Bing said quickly. Hey, 2 geniuses are here. He said with a smile that he thought was very handsome. Lu Qingchen responded with a handsome smile. Everyone turned to look over at this time, and Da Huang quickly stood up to greet him. Lu Qingchen, Yushan, I heard them talk about your assessment. It's good. With a smile on his face, Da Huang patted Lu Qingchen and Yushan's shoulders, beaming with joy. At this time, the leaders nearby also stood up and came over to shake hands with Lu Qingchen. Student Lu, I heard them talk about the assessment. You did really well and it made the school look good. Because he was too old to remember Lu Qingchen's name, the leader cleverly used classmate Lu to ease the situation at hand. And this strong young man is really good, ha 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 ha. Then the leaders shook hands with Lu Qingchen and Yushan one by one. They seemed to be familiar with each other, and they muttered something. Student Lu, I am the dean of the senior year of high school. I have discovered that you are a real dragon before. I didn't expect that I was right. And this classmate Yushan, you are also very good, ha ha ha. I am the vice principal of Qingchen No. 1 Middle School. When I saw you before, I knew you were destined to be extraordinary, so I paid close attention to you. I am the director of the Scientific Research Office of Qingchen No. 1 Middle School. I'm from the security department. Lu Qingchen and Yushan listened to the leader's useless words with smiles. After they finished speaking, the smile on Lu Qingchen's face became stiff. Chapter 24 Abandoned Martial Spirit. Lu Qingchen and Yushan listened to the leader's useless words with smiles. After they finished speaking, the smile on Lu Qingchen's face became stiff. After waiting for a long time, I realized that I wanted to treat them to a nice meal here, which was equivalent to a celebration banquet. In fact, many leaders are somewhat selfish. They are praising and inviting them to dinner just because they want Lu Qingchen and Yushan to give them more support after they enter a prestigious school and become stronger. Lu Qingchen, who was a 5-poison youth before time travel, saw this clearly, but he did not reject the kindness. After all, he was a student of Qingchen No. 1 Middle School, and one more friend is better than one more enemy. The dinner ended quickly. After finishing the meal, everyone got on the government bus and prepared to go home. Inside the bus, since the assessment had just ended and the results were very good, everyone was still in high spirits. By the way, Lu Qingchen and Yushan, are you planning to go to Tiandao Holy Court? Hongbing took the lead in starting the topic. Well, Yushan and I have decided to go to Tiandao Holy Academy after receiving the admission notice this time. Lu Qingchen nodded and then asked about everyone's situation. What about you? Have you received invitations from various martial arts universities in advance? Hongbing nodded and said hesitantly. Wushuan University has recruited us in advance, but we want to try to see if we can get into the 3 prestigious schools. Before the exam, I just thought about awakening my martial soul. After I awakened my martial soul, I felt a little reluctant if I didn't try to apply for one of the 3 prestigious schools. Yes, especially Su Muting. Her martial soul has 4 soul slots. There is still some hope. Zhang Ying on the side added. The admission standards of each Wuhuan University are not clearly marked at the moment. We want to wait until the admission standards of each Wuhuan University are released before making a choice. Su Man said softly. Lu Qingchen and Yushan also nodded, feeling that it made sense. It would be good to wait until the admission criteria come out. You all have more than 3 soul slots. You can be considered to be very talented students in ordinary martial arts universities, so there are many choices. Lu Qingchen analyzed it and continued. For most people, choosing the invitation from Wuhuan University in advance is because they are not confident enough in their own talents. There should be no problem with your words. You can wait at home and look at the admission standards of major colleges and universities, just in case you can get into the 3 major prestigious schools, right? Yushan, Zhang Ying and others all nodded, feeling that Lu Qingchen's words made sense. You can really listen to Lu Qingchen's opinion. Those colleges enroll students in advance because they are afraid of not being able to find students. Moreover, there are many Wuhuan universities now, but not many students who have awakened their Wuhuan. Therefore, each Wuhuan university is very short of students who have awakened their Wuhuan. I heard that the 3 major prestigious schools will expand their enrollment this year, and our Tiandao Holy Academy is no exception. With your martial soul's talent of having 3 soul slots, there is still hope. I remember that Su Muting had 4 soul slots when she awakened her martial soul. In this case, there is no problem at all in attending the 3 prestigious schools, but I still have to make one thing clear to you. Lu Yen stared at Hongbing and others and said seriously. With your qualifications, there is indeed hope for entering the 3 prestigious schools, but after entering, you may only be an ordinary student. Unless you have incredible luck or an unexpected encounter in the future, you can hope to enter the core. If you enter other martial arts universities, there is a high probability that you will receive key training, and resources will be given to you first in all aspects. In comparison, ordinary students at the 3 prestigious universities need to do tasks to earn resources on their own. The only advantage is that the teachers are strong and you will be exposed to many more universities than other colleges. Lu Yen glanced at everyone who was thinking with their heads down, and continued. For example, the teaching of martial arts and combat skills cannot be compared with other schools. What I can reveal is that after going to the 3 famous schools, you will live a brand new life. At this time Zhang Ying couldn't help but ask. What a new life? Will it be completely different from now? Yes, the life now after entering the academy may be a luxury. After all, everyone is working hard to improve themselves for resources, and everyone is a cultivator. It is not as comfortable as the life now. Lu Yen spread her hands, with a look of helplessness and nostalgia on her face. But I don't regret it. What I saw at the college and what I got from university is something that I would not have gotten or even dared to think about in this comfortable life for 100 years. So, if you want to choose a more exciting life, then I suggest you try to apply for 3 prestigious schools. It would be better if you can come to our college, but if you just want to make more money and live a good life, then I suggest you apply for an ordinary martial arts university, so that you can spend more time with your family. These Class 7 students were silent. You go back and think about it carefully. There is no need to bear any burden. Compared with other students, you are already extremely good. After all, not one person in 100 can awaken the martial spirit. After hearing what Lu Yen said, everyone suddenly felt a lot more relaxed. Section 22. You are listening at novelfull.audio. But the martial soul I awaken seems to be of no use. Is it the useless martial soul they say? Su Man said a little aggrievedly. Probably not. As long as the martial soul has a soul slot, it will not be a useless martial soul. Unless it has no soul slot, you can release the martial soul and see. That I saw Su Man coquettishly taking out an apple, except for Zhang Ying, everyone else has a black line. I'm telling you to release your martial spirit. Why are you bringing an apple out? We've just finished eating and we're not hungry yet. Hong Bing thought Su Man heard wrongly and repeated the meaning again. But this apple is my martial spirit. Su Man was so anxious that he almost cried, and explained quickly. Wait a minute, you said your martial spirit is an apple. Lu Yen looked a little excited. Yes. Su Man replied with some confusion when he saw Lu Yen was a little excited. Give me the apple. Su Man quickly handed the apple in his hand to Lu Yen. Unexpectedly, Lu Yen took a hard bite of the apple. After finishing an apple quickly, Lu Yen touched her belly and closed her eyes. Students in Class 7, you look at me and I look at you, with doubts on their faces. A few seconds later, Lu Yen took a deep breath and said excitedly to Su Man. How many apples can you make at a time? How long is the shelf life of these apples? We can probably make 40 or 50 at a time, and then we need to restore our soul power. I don't know the shelf life yet. As he spoke, he conjured up a few more apples in his hand and handed them to everyone. Everyone harvested the apples and looked at them carefully. I saw Yushan holding an apple in his hand and saying with a smile. Look, this apple is big and round. It must be delicious. As soon as he finished speaking, he took a hard bite. Who knew that Yushan's face was full of shock as soon as he ate it? Chapter 25. 2 Major Food-Type Martial Spirits. Everyone saw Yushan's shocked and confused expression, so they all took a bite of the apple handed to them by Su Man. It didn't matter if he took this bite, as soon as he swallowed it, everyone's expressions became the same as Yushan's. Zhang Ying's mouth opened into an O shape, and her eyes were full of disbelief. Unexpectedly, I can restore my soul power. I feel so comfortable now. Hong Bing was very shocked and said something. Su Man, give me another one. Lu Qingchen was surprised by his shamelessness, so he said angrily. Su Man, give me one too. And me. Yushan stood up, his hands empty. That's right, in just one moment, a whole apple was eaten. Lu Yen looked at these people speechlessly. Oh no, they are some foodies. Lu Qingchen felt that just after eating, his whole body was warm, and his soul power had recovered a little, so he said vaguely. Su Man, if you sell apples, you will definitely make a fortune. These apples are beautiful and delicious, and they can also restore your soul power. Yes, yes, after I make money, I will open a chain and I will leave the rest of my life to you. Hongbing joked. And me, I'm easy to take care of, just give me food, bah, just give me apples. Everyone started to make fun of this introverted female classmate. Lu Yen almost laughed angrily at this group of foodies, and said softly to Su Man. I can tell you that martial arts like yours are food-based martial arts. Food-type martial arts are very rare. They are the object of competition wherever they are placed, even in the 3 prestigious schools. If you are willing, our Tiandao Holy Academy is willing to recruit you in advance and enjoy the resources and training of core students. There will be dedicated instructors to teach you. I saw Su Man's face was a little red and he said hurriedly. I. Of course, there is no problem for you to enter the other 2 prestigious schools in this situation, but as a member of the Tiandao Holy Academy, of course I hope you can come to us. Lu Yen thought Su Man said she needed to think about it, so she analyzed the situation with her. Can I? Su Man's eyes lit up. Of course. As long as you agree now, I will report it to the academy. When the notice comes out, I will go to the academy with you Shan and Lu Qingchen. Of course I do. Su Man did not hesitate. Ha ha ha, that's great. You can eat apples every day when you go to the academy. Yu Shan looked excited. Lu Yen was extremely happy to see Su Man choosing Tiandao Holy Academy so firmly. Okay, I will report to my superiors now. I should receive the admission notice in a few days. Hong Bing, Zhang Yang and Su Muting next to them all looked envious. Lu Qingchen suddenly asked. Teacher Lu Yen, is there anything special about food-type martial arts? In other words, how are they different from other martial arts? Seeing that everyone was staring at her, Lu Yen spread some common knowledge to everyone. The biggest difference between food-type martial spirits and other martial spirits is that food-type martial spirits can use soul power to transform the martial soul into real things, which can be eaten or drank, just like ordinary apples. The apples created by Su Man using his soul power can also be eaten. They are bigger and sweeter than ordinary apples, and they also have more functions. This ability to restore soul power is very popular no matter where you go. After all, as a foreign object, it can replenish one's own soul power. Who wouldn't prepare some pills or other items to restore soul power outside? And ordinary martial spirits cannot make such edible things anyway. This is the biggest difference between food-type martial spirits and other martial spirits. Just as Lu Yen said this, her voice suddenly stopped when she saw Lu Qingchen taking out a lotus seed in his hand. Teacher Lu Yen, am I, a food-type martial spirit? Lu Qingchen's words were shocking and shocked the students in class 7. Su Man had just made the next apple when he was attracted by the lotus seeds in Lu Qingchen's hand. Lu Yen also opened her eyes wide, with a look of disbelief on her face. Why can you create real objects? This is unscientific. Lu Qingchen was seen holding a crystal clear and round lotus seed in his hand, and handed it to Lu Yen, who was shocked. Lu Yen took the lotus seeds from Lu Qingchen and looked at them carefully. The lotus seeds exuded a vitality, and Lu Yen took a few deep breaths and felt warm all over her body, so he no longer hesitated, picked up the lotus seeds and put them in his mouth. As soon as the lotus seeds entered her mouth, they turned into liquid. After a while, Lu Yan's body exuded the breath of life. This lotus seed, unexpectedly. I feel like all the hidden wounds on my body have recovered. I still have a feeling in the dark, but I don't know how to put it. Lu Yen closed her eyes tightly, comprehending the efficacy of this lotus seed. After a moment, the eyes opened. Lu Yan's tone was a little complicated. It is indeed a food-type martial spirit. As for the effect, I haven't fully felt it yet. Does anyone else know that you can create this kind of lotus seed? Lu Qingchen scratched his head. No, I just had a sudden idea. I didn't expect it to be created by me. It feels like it consumes a lot of soul power. Okay, let's not create it for now. I will explain the situation to the master and restore my soul power for the time being before entering the academy. After you enter the academy, let the master help you test the efficacy and storage time. Lu Qingchen hummed and nodded to express his understanding. I don't know how effective this thing is. If it works, it will definitely sell well in the academy. I can only hope to make a fortune from this in the future, ha 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 ha. Lu Qingchen was filled with expectations when he thought of this. It's a pity that it consumes some soul power and cannot be produced in large quantities. After a moment, Lu Qingchen came to his senses and sighed. Naturally, everyone didn't know what Lu Qingchen was thinking at this moment. Everyone lowered their heads and thought about their own thoughts. Only Yushan looked at this and that, seeing that no one said anything, he continued to lie back on the chair. Everyone felt a little complicated at the moment. First, several other people saw that Su Man had been admitted to 3 prestigious universities in advance, but they were feeling uneasy because the admission criteria of the major colleges had not been announced. Only Lu Yen was recalling the effect of the lotus seed just now. In addition to the recovery of the previous hidden injuries, the most important thing was the mysterious feeling. What exactly is it? Lu Yen held her chin in her hand, thinking. I remember I had this feeling once before, but I can't remember it. It was full of life. Lu Yen was talking to herself. Teacher Lu Yen, are all the students recruited by Tiandao Holy Academy this time around my age? That Lu Qingchen's abrupt words interrupted Lu Yen, who was thinking. I saw Lu Yen suddenly excitedly said loudly. Section 23. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I know. Chapter 26 Going Home. I know. Lu Yen shouted excitedly, startling Lu Qingchen, who was about to speak. At this moment, Lu Yen suddenly remembered that the breath full of life and the feeling in the dark were the embodiment of life. I didn't expect that eating Lu Qingchen's lotus seeds would increase his lifespan. Lu Yen wanted to take Lu Qingchen back to the academy to let Han Meng see it. It's a pity that I can't go back for the time being. If I take him, I will take 3 people with me, although I don't know how much lifespan can be increased. As long as the natural treasures related to lifespan are extremely expensive, and money can't buy them. At this moment, Lu Yen was very excited, but she still suppressed her excitement and said to everyone seriously. Lu Qingchen's martial soul is a bit strange. I'm not sure if it has anything to do with the food system. I hope you will keep it secret for the time being and wait until we get to the academy to confirm it. Everyone saw Lu Yen so serious, so they all nodded solemnly. Lu Qingchen did not ask Lu Yen about the efficacy of his lotus seed at this moment, but just lowered his head and silently recovered his soul power. Didn't you just ask me if the students recruited by Tiandao Xinyuan are all about the same age as you? Lu Yen suddenly remembered the question Lu Qingchen asked just now. Yushan and Su Man all nodded like chickens pecking at rice. They were all a little curious. Lu Yen drank a sip of water and said slowly. Most of the students recruited this time are about the same age as you, and Tiandao Xinyuan is a very fair place. At the beginning, everyone just practiced in the outer courtyard. The outer courtyard is divided into 4 grades, just like the freshman to senior year of ordinary universities, but there will be an assessment at the end of each year, and those who fail the assessment will be eliminated. What does elimination mean? Is it a make-up exam or? Yushan couldn't help asking. Lu Yen glanced at him and continued. Elimination means leaving the academy, which you can understand as expulsion. Of course, even students expelled from the Tiandao Holy Academy will be sought after by other ordinary martial arts universities. There will be an assessment every year. In the outer academy, you can be promoted to a higher grade every time you pass an assessment, which leads to fierce competition in the outer academy. After the 4th grade, there will be a most important assessment, which is also regarded as the first step to becoming a strong person. The Tiandao Holy Academy is divided into the outer academy and the inner academy. The inner academy is divided into the Tianyuan and the Xinyuan. To enter any of them is a genius with extremely strong talents, and of course, it also requires perseverance and hard work. The Tianyuan majors in martial arts, which is the most common way of cultivation now. The Xinyuan majors in the spirit, which is also called the spirit system. I don't know much about the Xinyuan. It is said that the assessment seems to be related to mental strength. After saying so much in a row, Lu Yen felt dry in the mouth and continued to talk after drinking a sip of water. That's all for now. You'll understand after you enter the academy. In a word, there is no easy road to martial arts. If you don't work hard, you will be surpassed and eliminated by others. All those who can enter the inner courtyard are geniuses picked from thousands of miles away. You'll understand after you enter the inner courtyard. There is no simple student. After listening to Lu Yan's words, Lu Qingchen smacked his lips and suddenly became a little expectant. Yushan's eyes were also full of desire. As a member of the awakened top martial spirit, who doesn't have his own pride? Only Su Man was a little worried and couldn't help asking. Teacher Lu Yan, does the food department also need to be assessed? Are the assessment methods the same? Of course it's different. The food department assessment is quite simple. After all, it is very rare. As far as I know, 99% of food department soul masters can enter the inner courtyard. In the academy, food department soul masters are very popular. Su Man breathed a sigh of relief and patted his chest. That's good. Lu Qingchen's face was a little strange. How do food department soul warriors fight? Could it be that he created an apple and threw it at someone else? At this time, everyone had just heard so much about Wuhuan University, and they were slowly digesting it, as if the door to the new world had opened to them. The bus was still driving steadily on the road. I don't know how long it took. The car stopped at the gate of Qingchen No. 1 Middle School. It was already late when it stopped. But this did not affect the very warm atmosphere of Qingchen No. 1 Middle School at this time. Because many students returned after the assessment today, although they had only been away from Qingchen for 3 days, everyone felt as if it was 3 years. There were so many universities that they had come into contact with in the past few days that some people still haven't recovered. There were a few big words posted at the gate of Qingchen No. 1 Middle School. Warmly welcome the senior high school martial arts students back to school. As soon as Lu Qingchen got off the bus, he heard his mother Xiao Lan calling him. Xiaoqin, this way, this way. Xiao Lan waved her hand so that Lu Qingchen could see herself in the sky that was about to darken. Father Lu Chongting was also waving to him. Dad, Mom, I'm back. Lu Qingchen ran over quickly. At this moment, the parents of Yushan, Hongbing, and others also came. Seeing their children coming back, they waved and almost cried with joy. Although it was only 3 days, the parents were very worried about their children who had hardly left their side since childhood. Xiao Chen, are you okay these days? How are you doing over there? Are you hungry? I made your favorite sweet and sour spare ribs, boiled fish, grilled beef, cola chicken wings, braised pork, and... Xiao Lan looked around Lu Qingchen for a few times, chattering. After checking for a long time, she found that her son was not short of weight, so she smiled happily. Lu Chongting saw that his son was fine, and he smiled at this moment. It's good that he is fine, it's good that he is fine. These days when you were not at home, your mother kept shouting that she wanted to go to Jinling City to see you, and I was so confused. Lu Qingchen glanced at his father's dark circles and sighed in his heart, worthy of being a mother. The other parents also surrounded their children and carefully checked them at this moment, fearing that their children had not lived well these days. Lu Qingchen saw Yushan's father patting Yushan's shoulder with his big hand like a palm fan, and Yushan grimaced in pain. Old man, be gentle, you beat me to pieces. Yushan complained. Ha ha ha, not bad, worthy of being my son. It seems that the awakening of the martial spirit has improved his physical fitness a lot. Yushan's father is more than 2 meters tall, and standing with Yushan, he is like 2 mountains, full of oppression. Lu Qingchen has not been home for so many days and missed his mother's cooking, so he waved to everyone. Teacher Lu Yan, Yushan, I'm going back first, see you tomorrow. Lu Chongting also waved to Yushan's father. Old you, my brat, and I are going back first, let's drink together another day. Yushan's old father smiled generously and said. Okay, bring Xiaoqin to my house for dinner another day, there will be plenty of wine. Su Muting was also whispering to her family about what happened during the assessment. When she heard what Yushan and Lu Qingchen said, her eyes turned red. Seeing that their daughter was not in a good mood, Su Muting's parents hurried to comfort her. Woo! Dad, Mom, I seem to have done something wrong. I'm so sad. Lu Qingchen also heard Su Muting crying at this moment, but did not do anything. He just lowered his head and looked at the ground, walking towards home step by step. Once a decision is made on some things, there is no possibility of turning back, right? Brothers, Chapter 27 The Amazing Effect of the Jade God Lotus Seed, Qingchen Community, Room 502, Building 2. As soon as Lu Qingchen and his parents returned home, they hurried into the room and closed the door with a click. Xia Lan smiled and shook her head. I don't know what Xiaochen is doing, he is in a hurry. The child has grown up, so he must have some secrets, ha 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 ha. Lu Chongting laughed, revealing a mysterious smile. That's right, Xiaochen has grown up. Xia Lan said with emotion. Then I'll stew another soup, heat up the dishes and eat, you can go watch TV first. In the room, as soon as Lu Qingchen entered the room, he couldn't wait to take out a lotus seed from the lotus heart of the jade god lotus of creation, then 2, 3, until he took off all 5 lotus seeds on the martial soul. He found that the soul power of the jade god lotus of creation martial soul itself was also exhausted. It seems that only 5 lotus seeds can be made at a time, and then the soul power can be restored before continuing to make lotus seeds, with a thought, for lotus. Seeds were put into the system storage space. Lu Qingchen looked at the remaining lotus seed in his hand and swallowed it in one gulp. It almost melted in his mouth. After a while, Lu Qingchen exuded a strong breath of life, and it seemed that something was added to his body. Lu Qingchen sat cross-legged on the bed, with some doubts between his brows. What exactly is it? Ding! Congratulations to the host for increasing his lifespan by 5 years. Section 24. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The extra life in the body. Lu Qingchen was shocked for a moment. If I eat 5 every day, wouldn't I be able to live an infinite lifespan, eternal life? For a moment, Lu Qingchen's eyes widened and his breathing became rapid. I hurriedly asked silently. System, can the effects of this lotus seed be superimposed? Ding, the effects of lotus seeds can be superimposed, but after reaching a certain level, they can no longer be superimposed. How many pills do you need to take in total to have no effect? This is unclear at the moment, and the host needs to try it slowly. You can remind the host that the shelf life of lotus seeds is unlimited. With unlimited shelf life, can't I make it every day, store it and trade it for other resources? Lu Qingchen murmured, yes, lotus seeds are at the host's discretion, but only 5 can be produced per day. Okay, I understand the system, you can go and do it yourself. After understanding what he wanted to know, Lu Qingchen waved his hand to indicate that the system could leave. Just a tool man. Ding, a special reminder to the host, the effect of lotus seeds will increase as the host's realm improves. Let me go, how much can the effect be improved? When Lu Qingchen heard that there was such a good thing, he quickly asked about the system. It's unclear at the moment and the host is asked to find out on his own, but don't take shortcuts to practice and improve your realm. The mechanical synthesized sound sounded again. Okay, I understand. Seeing that the system did not want to talk to him, Lu Qingchen waved his hand to indicate that it could leave. It seems that you still have to explore on your own and practice step by step. Just like the system says, you can't take shortcuts. Since the Jade God Lotus did not need to be cultivated to absorb soul power, Lu Qingchen began to absorb soul power and irrigate it into the other 2 martial arts spirits. It was only when he started practicing that Lu Qingchen discovered that the total amount of soul power stored in these 2 supreme martial souls was astonishing. The soul power that had been cultivated for a while was poured into the martial soul without causing any ripples, but this is fine. The more soul power a martial soul can store, the longer the battle will last. If there is not much difference between others in the same realm, then it depends on who has deeper cultivation. Han Meng had told him before that the supreme martial soul's cultivation speed would be slower than other martial spirits, but he thought it was 10 times faster and didn't take it seriously. It was only when I started practicing that I realized how difficult it was. No wonder they say that if you want to go far in martial arts, you must have perseverance and perseverance. Really, practicing without years is not just talk. Lu Qingchen sighed a little. Xiao Chen, come out to eat." After practicing for a while, my mother's voice came from outside the door. Lu Qingchen immediately jumped out of bed, opened the door and saw that Xiaolan had already prepared a table of food. Today's dinner was extremely sumptuous, including sweet and sour pork ribs, boiled fish, sizzling beef, cola chicken wings, braised pork, and a soup that Lu Qingchen didn't recognize. Mom's cooking is still delicious. All the meals eaten outside are the same. As soon as Lu Qingchen sat down, he held the chicken wings in one hand and the ribs in the other, and started to eat happily. "If it's delicious, eat more. Mom will make delicious food for you every day these days." Xiaolan watched her son wolfing down the food tenderly. Lu Chongting was also serving him soup. In the eyes of parents, the more their children eat, the better. This also led to the fact that every time I asked myself which dish was delicious, my parents would always cook it for me. Until the day I get tired of it. But parents only want the best for themselves. Lu Qingchen devoured it, took the soup handed over by his father, and took a big sip. "What kind of soup is this? It tastes so good. Why do I still feel that my soul power is slowly increasing?" Feeling the changes in his body, Lu Qingchen asked in surprise. "This is stewed with Qingling bird and Millennium Snow Ginseng. Your dad has been lucky these past 2 days and bought it from an acquaintance." Xiaolan explained gently, "Although I don't know the price of these two foods, I know from the changes in my body that they must be extremely expensive. It seems that my parents have been really worried these past 2 days. By the way, Xiaochen, how was this assessment? Did you awaken your martial spirit?" Lu Chongting asked, looking nervously at his eldest son along with Xiaolan. "Of course I'm awake. Your son is a genius, and I was admitted to Tiandao Holy Academy in advance." Lu Qingchen patted his chest, indicating that he was fine. "Tiandao Holy Academy? That is one of the 3 famous schools. He is indeed my son. He is no less good than I was back then." Ha 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 ha. Lu Chongting laughed proudly. It seems that his father was also a great soul warrior back then, Lu Qingchen thought to himself. "Of course, you just have to go to the college when the college entrance examination results come out and the admission notice is issued." Lu Qingchen felt a little reluctant when he thought that he would leave the home where he had stayed for more than 10 years in a few days. "Be careful after you go to the academy and listen to your instructors." Xiaolan warned her uneasily when she heard that her son would go to school after staying at home for a few days. "Mom, don't worry. After I enter the academy, I will definitely listen to my instructor and practice seriously," Lu Qingchen replied after listening to Xiaolan's instructions. Lu Chongting watched quietly from the side. After Xiaolan finished her instructions, he said seriously, "Xiaochen, after you go to the academy, your mother and I will also have to settle some things in the past. You must practice well in the academy. When you reach a certain level, you will find how wonderful this world is." Chapter 28 The Mysterious Past of Parents. "I will practice well, but Dad, is there any danger in what you and Mom are going to do?" Lu Qingchen was a little worried. "Don't worry, I will bring your mom with me. Of course there will be no danger, you just need to practice hard in the academy." Lu Chongting smiled at his son while speaking, indicating that there would be no danger. Lu Qingchen also nodded. He couldn't see through his father's depth, and could only barely feel the vast soul power in Lu Chongting's body like the ocean, but it was inevitable that Lu Qingchen had a sense of crisis. Just after finishing his meal, Lu Qingchen went back to his room to practice. After all, every time he practiced more, he could fill up his martial soul earlier. While irrigating the martial soul with soul power, he could also slowly comprehend the power and ability of the martial soul. In addition to filling up the soul power of the martial soul in the awakening stage, another important thing is to comprehend the martial soul. The deeper the perception, the more martial soul abilities you can use. Lu Qingchen needs to perceive the abilities of the 3 martial souls. Although it takes more time, he will be stronger than people of the same realm. Soon, Lu Qingchen was immersed in his own world, silently perceiving the abilities of martial souls. What he didn't know was that a golden mist mixed with some red mist began to slowly rise from his body. Soon after, the 2 colors of mist turned into a golden crow and a real dragon, circling around Lu Qingchen. no words for the whole night. The next morning. Xiaochen, get up, you still have to go to school today. I heard from your teacher that I don't know what else you have to do. Hearing his mother's voice, Qingchen immediately withdrew from the state of cultivation. It's so comfortable. I feel that my physical strength has become much stronger after practicing all night. Qingchen sighed in his heart, he stretched his waist and suddenly crackled on his body. Walking out of the room, I saw that my mother had already prepared breakfast. As soon as Qingchen sat down, he heard a knock on the door. Xia Lan hurried to open the door. As expected, it was Yushan who was at the door. Seeing that it was Xia Lan who opened the door, Yushan scratched his head and smiled. Good morning, Auntie, I'm going to school with Brother Chen. Qingchen was just about to grab something to eat on the way when he heard his mother's voice. Xiao Yu, come in and eat together, Auntie has made a lot of delicious food, and I have something to say to you. So, there were two people feasting at the table instead of one person. Qingchen chewed a fried bun with golden skin, and asked incoherently with oil dripping from his mouth. Mom, what do you want to tell us? No big deal, I just want to ask which Wuhan University Xiaoyu is going to enter. Yushan was stunned for a moment, and after a moment, he pointed at himself and asked in confusion. Me? Yes, Xiaoyu, which Wuhan University are you going to apply for? Xia Lan continued to ask. At this moment, Qingchen patted his head. He was so anxious to study the lotus seeds yesterday that he forgot to tell his mother. I am going to Tiandao Xingyuan with Brother Chen. Didn't Brother Chen tell you? Yushan touched his head and smiled. What, you and him are going to Tiandao Xingyuan together? Why didn't Xiaochen tell me yesterday? After changing the voice, Xia Lan looked at Qingchen who was wolfing down the food. Hey, Mom, I forgot. I was going to tell you today, this. Seeing Yushan still eating, Qingchen slapped Yushan's head hard. You only know how to eat. Hurry up and go to school. You'll be late, Yushan said with a wronged look, I just ate a fried dough stick. Let me eat more. Okay, don't rush to school. Let Xiaoyu eat more. Xia Lan glared at Qingchen, this stinky boy didn't know to tell me in advance, and asked me to ask again. At this moment, Qingchen's mother was muttering in her heart that her son was not reliable at all, so she said softly to Yushan. Xiaoyu, you and Xiaochen go to school together. You should take care of each other. When Xiaochen is impulsive, you have to persuade him. Don't let him do whatever he wants. Yushan chewed the food in his mouth. After listening to Xia Lan's words, he nodded repeatedly, indicating that he would definitely complete the task. Seeing Yushan's affirmative answer, Xia Lan was relieved immediately. Section 25. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After all, in the minds of parents, other people's children are always more mature and stable than their own children. After the two finished eating, they left home and walked towards the school. By the way, Brother Chen, my old man said that after I go to the academy, he will leave Qingchen to do some things. Yushan suddenly said. No, my dad also said that after I go to the academy this time, he will settle some things in the past. The two looked at each other, their eyes full of shock and confusion. And since I awakened my martial soul, I found that my old man is not an ordinary person at all, he actually has soul power in his body, and I can't compare with him at all. Yushan's face was solemn at this moment, with a little shock on his face. Qingchen also said slowly at this moment. I can't see through my dad, and I can't even see through my mom. I guess my dad should have been injured because of something before, so he has been recovering in Qingchen, and since I can remember, my dad and uncle you have always known each other. The two seemed to remember something, and their faces were a little complicated. Qingchen continued. Besides, we have all awakened top-level martial spirits, which means that our parents must be talented. As for what it is, I think we should not be able to contact it for the time being. Yushan's face was full of worry at this moment. Brother Chen, do you think what they are going to do will be dangerous? It shouldn't be. My father has always been a very stable person, and Uncle Yu doesn't look like an impulsive person. Besides, it's useless for us to think so much now. After entering the academy, the first thing is to work hard to improve our cultivation. When our cultivation reaches a certain level, we should know some things, and only when we become stronger will we be qualified to help them. It's useless even if we know it now, it will affect our own state. Lu Qingchen analyzed the current situation for Yushan. With the experience of 2 lives, Lu Qingchen knew it very well. In this world where martial arts are respected, only when you become strong can you have the right to speak and do what you want. Yushan really thought it made sense, so he shook his head and stopped thinking about it. At this moment, Lu Qingchen calmed down and suddenly remembered that his parents had told him that his sister was in Wuhan University. It just didn't say which academy it was. The whole family is soul warriors. Lu Qingchen sighed inwardly. It seems that his experience in this life is much more exciting than that in the previous life. Chapter 29 Top 100 in the country. Qingchen No. 1 Middle School. At the door of Class 7 of Senior 3, as soon as the two walked through the door, they heard a noisy noise in the classroom. Do you know, our Class 7 has produced several geniuses this time. Ah, when did it happen? Are you talking about the students who went to the Wuhan University exam? Yes, those students in the class who went to the Wuhan University exam. I heard that almost all of them have awakened their martial souls. A thin classmate wearing glasses excitedly shared his gossip with everyone. I really don't know what it feels like to awaken a martial soul. I really want to feel it. At this time, a voice sounded. It's a pity that we can't feel it. We don't have that talent. We just hope that we can get a good score in the college entrance examination in a few days and go to a famous university. Alas, we can only get into a good university and find a good job now. I really envy them. A classmate said with envy. That's all we can do. Lu Qingchen heard the conversation between classmates and shook his head helplessly. If I had thought the same as them in my previous life, I would study hard to get into a good university and find a good job. It was not only my wish in my previous life, but also my parents' wish. Lu Qingchen's thoughts were surging. Without thinking any more, Lu Qingchen and Yushan walked directly into the classroom. As soon as the two walked into the classroom exploded. Lu Qingchen, Yushan, have you too awakened your martial spirits? Yes, I heard that almost everyone has awakened this time, only a few people haven't. It can't be you, Lu Qingchen. A classmate who has a good relationship with Yan Zian said with a little sarcasm. Lu Qingchen glanced at him, but didn't bother with him, and went straight to his seat, but Yushan didn't intend to let him go, and snorted coldly, releasing a little pressure. The student's face turned red and he couldn't breathe, but it was just a warning, which lasted only 1 or 2 seconds, and Yushan put away his breath. After all, they were all classmates in the same class, so it was embarrassing to do too much. As soon as the two walked to their seats, Hongbing turned his head. Hey, how was your rest last night? Are you okay? Hongbing came up and greeted him. I rested well, and the bed at home is still comfortable. Yushan replied with a smile. At this time, Zhang Ying, Su Man and Su Muting also came over, and everyone had a tacit understanding. As soon as Hongbing opened his mouth, he must have some gossip. As expected, the next second Hongbing said to everyone mysteriously. Let me tell you, I heard a piece of news that you are very interested in yesterday. How about it, do you want to hear it? Zhang Ying has always been impatient. When he heard Hongbing say that there was a piece of news that everyone was very interested in, he hurriedly asked. Tell me quickly, what is the news? Call me Brother Bing and I'll tell you. Seeing that Zhang Ying was interested, Hongbing started to act funny. Bah, you're dreaming, and you want to take advantage of me. I won't call you. I don't believe you can hold it in. Zhang Ying saw that Hongbing was deliberately teasing him, but he didn't fall for it. Seeing that his little goal was not achieved, Hongbing turned his head away, indicating that he would not say anything. Everyone tacitly did not speak. Seeing that Hongbing turned his head away and did not intend to say anything, Zhang Ying felt a little impatient. Brother Bing. Okay, tell us what news is. In order to hear the gossip from Hongbing, Zhang Ying also fought hard. Sure enough, Hongbing turned his head immediately after hearing this, and said with a smile. Don't worry, dear sister, Brother Bing will tell you right away. Lu Qingchen saw that Zhang Ying's fists were clenched tightly at this moment, and he couldn't help but mourn for Hongbing in his heart. I hope he won't be beaten too badly later. Seeing that everyone was very interested, the rest of the class also looked over here. Hongbing enjoyed the joy of being the center of attention, and said with a happy face. I heard that this afternoon, at the latest tomorrow, our assessment results and the admission standards of Wuhan University will be released. Really? Su muting next to him also seemed a little excited when she heard the news. Of course it's true, and it is said that there will be a national ranking this time, and the top 100 will have very rich rewards. Hongbing continued. Seeing that Hongbing said that the top 100 will have rewards, Qingchen also became interested. Then what about the assessment scoring standard, how is it calculated? I heard that the score is calculated by adding 3 levels together, strength test, attribute test and Wuhan talent assessment. It seems that a mysterious force is responsible for the assessment, and the rewards are also issued by them. After all, it was a rumor, and Hongbing was not sure. I think you and Yishan can definitely enter the top 100 in the country. Just look at your 3-level data, it's scary. Hongbing said affirmatively. Zhang Ying, Su Man and Su muting beside him also nodded. After all, the data from the test of these two people was as fierce as that of animals. At this moment, the classmates in the class also heard Hongbing's words that did not seem to be a joke. Qingchen and Yushan can enter the top 100 in the country. What's the situation? The students who did not participate in the assessment were all confused and puzzled. After this topic was over, everyone chatted for a while, and the class bell rang. A moment later, the head teacher De Huang walked into the classroom. I saw that De Huang was dressed very formally today, a wine-red double-breasted suit, inside was a white dark pattern jacquard high-collar shirt, and the dark blue tie was very eye-catching, making the head teacher De Huang look very energetic, at least 10 years younger. Classmates, the assessment of Wuhan University has ended, and the students who participated in the assessment did very well. Section 26. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The above has rated our 7th class as the best class of the year and awarded a class fee of 10,000 yuan. Please give applause to the students who participated in the Wuhan University assessment this time. Everyone didn't feel much at first, but when they heard about the 10,000 yuan class fee, they all became excited and clapped their hands. After everyone finished applauding, the head teacher continued on the stage and said, "Students who applied for Wuhan University have nothing to do. They can leave school freely as long as their results come out tomorrow at the latest, but the rest of the students who are preparing to enter liberal arts universities still need to review quickly." De Huang started talking non-stop, and by the time he finished speaking, the first class had passed. What made Qingchen a little depressed was that the teachers who came to every class stared at him and Yushan with burning eyes, then the rest of the class often focused on them. This made Qingchen, who liked to keep a low profile, very uncomfortable. Time flies. Dingle bell. The bell rang for the last class. However, the students were not in a hurry to pack their things, because the head teacher would say a few words every time at this time. Sure enough, the head teacher De Huang hurried into the classroom. There is also a computer in his hand. As soon as he stepped onto the podium, he announced news that completely boiled the classroom. Everyone, don't be in a hurry to go back. I just received the news that Wuhan University's admission standards and candidate scores are now available for inquiry. Chapter 31st in the country. Everyone, don't be in a hurry to go back. I just received the news that Wuhan University's admission standards and candidate scores are now available for inquiry. As soon as he finished speaking, it was like a stone stirring up 1,000 waves, and the class was boiling instantly. The listlessness of those students who had been preparing to go home after listening to the head teacher's nonsense was wiped away at this moment. They all showed excitement. I saw the head teacher De Huang tremblingly opening the computer, connecting to the internet and saying to everyone, "The results are officially released at 6 o'clock, but you can check first to see which student comes first." But I saw that Hongbing was already eager to try. When the head teacher said this, he quickly said loudly, I come first." He quickly ran to the podium and stood next to De Huang. Then log into the National Martial Arts Examination Student Information Inquiry Network and enter your exam number and ID number to check your martial arts exam results. However, after the excitement passed, the page displayed the information you're querying has not been entered yet. Please check again at 6 o'clock. At this time, all the students in the class were like Hong Bing, and Lu Qingchen was no exception. This feeling is no less than the last promotion game of the league. Every time Hong Bing clicks to refresh, it's like a team battle is about to start, which is extremely exciting. Just after refreshing dozens of times, the information displayed on the screen is still the information you are querying has not been entered yet. This made the head teachers De Huang and Hong Bing a little disappointed and a little nervous for a while. At this time, the students in the class were also a little nervous, but more of them were looking forward to it. Although they did not take the Wuhan University assessment, they are inevitably curious about the rankings of the students in the class who took the Wuhan assessment. Seeing Hong Bing pressing the mouse hard, Zhang Ying couldn't help but ask. "How's it going, Hong Bing, are you out yet?" "The results show that they haven't been entered yet. They said they have to wait until 6 o'clock. Hong Bing said helplessly. The get-out-of-class bell has just rang at this moment, and it is still more than 10 minutes before 6 o'clock, but everyone had no intention of going home. They were all staring at the head teacher and Hong Bing on the podium. The classroom was so quiet at this moment that you could hear the sound of a needle dropping to the ground. All you could hear was each other's breathing. Time passed by minute, and no one spoke. Everyone is quietly waiting for 6 o'clock to arrive. It was now 5:59, and Lu Qingchen could clearly see a layer of fine beads of sweat on Hong Bing's head. I refreshed the web page and quickly filled in my exam number, ID number, and finally the verification code. The time finally came to 6 o'clock. Click to check. When the page was loading, Hong Bing felt like his heart was about to fly out, and the face of the class teacher beside him was also full of nervousness. The page finally loaded. At this moment, Hong Bing only saw the total score of 555 and the national ranking of 4,320. These two numbers instantly made him shout excitedly. "I'm in the top 5,000. Ha 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 ha." Hong Bing jumped up excitedly and shouted excitedly. The country of China is so large that there are tens of thousands of students who have awakened their martial souls. Being among the top 10,000 students is already considered extremely outstanding. At this moment, Zhang Ying had already rushed to the podium and said excitedly to Hong Bing. "Check my results." Hong Bing motioned to Zhang Ying to enter her ID number and exam number. The page loads quickly. As soon as the results came out, Zhang Ying suddenly became as excited as Hong Bing. The total score is 553 points and the national ranking is 4980. Like Hong Bing, both of them are among the top 5,000 in the country. Only De Huang was so excited that he almost cried. He patted his thigh and said loudly, Okay, you are worthy of being the student I taught. You really make me proud." At this moment, Su Muting was left, and Su Man, Yushan and Lu Qingchen did not check the results. Su Muting was the third one to go up. As students who had been admitted to Tiandao Holy Academy in advance, Lu Qingchen and the others were not as anxious to check their results as Hong Bing and others. Su Muting had just entered her information and clicked the query button, and her face instantly turned red. After a few seconds, she couldn't help but started to cry softly. The head teacher De Huang quickly looked at the numbers on the display screen. The total score was 599, ranking 2,900th in the country. For a moment, Lu Qingchen seemed to see De Huang trembling all over. De Huang said excitedly. "Su Muting, ranking 2,900th in the country." As soon as the voice fell, the classmates in the class instantly boiled up, and several girls were already comforting Su Muting. Lu Qingchen also smiled when he heard the result, although some unpleasant things had happened before, but after all, they had grown up together and were still classmates, so he was still a little happy for Su Muting at this moment. Although Lu Qingchen and Yushan were a little excited, they were not in a hurry, so they let Su Man go up to check the results first. The three of them walked up to the podium together, under the gaze of several people. Su Man nervously entered her ID number and test number, and then clicked the query button. Under everyone's expectant gaze, the page was loading slowly. After the page was successfully displayed, there was only one 967th place in the country, and no score was displayed. Although she knew that she had been admitted to the three famous universities in advance, Su Man couldn't help but get excited when she saw the three-digit ranking. At this time, the head teacher was already very excited and shouted loudly. "Su Man, the national ranking is 967. As soon as he finished speaking, the audience was boiling again. Next, it was Yushan and Lu Qingchen's turn. Lu Qingchen blinked at Yushan, probably meaning that you go first, so Yushan began to enter his ID number and test number, and then clicked to query. There was still no score displayed, and it was probably a 2-digit number, national ranking 11. Yushan didn't feel much when he saw this number, which was not much different from what he guessed. Lu Qingchen saw Yushan's ranking, and his face became a little solemn. If I remember correctly, Yushan's strength test was 4,100 kilograms, and he was a natural gold-attributed Tianpin, and he also awakened the top martial soul Jinbei Mang Longnia with 7 soul slots. He was only ranked 13th. Lu Qingchen felt a sense of pressure in his heart for a moment. It seems that there are many geniuses in this assessment, but only the 2 of them did not change their emotions much. When the head teacher next to them saw the 11th place, the Huang almost fainted with excitement. What did I see? Top 100, 1 place away from the top 10, and it was a student from our class. At this moment, the Huang was extremely excited and felt that his life was about to usher in a second spring. He calmed down his excitement, but it was still difficult to hide the joy on his face. He cleared his throat and proudly announced to the audience. Yushan, national ranking, 11th, that the audience was still boiling, but Lu Qingchen ignored it. He just walked to the computer and started to enter his ID number and test number. At this time, Yushan Hongbing and others had come over, staring at the screen motionlessly. Lu Qingchen clicked the query, and after a few seconds, the page was loaded. Everyone felt that there was nothing around them, only the computer in front of them. There were only 5 dazzling words on the display screen. National ranking, 1. Chapter 31 Lu Qingchen's name, national ranking, 1.at This moment, everyone seemed to have only that sacred number in their eyes, and no one spoke for a while. The students in the audience saw that the eyes of the people on the stage and De Huang were as big as copper bells, and the expressions on everyone's faces were extremely wonderful, but no one spoke. Seeing that there was no sound on the stage, the students in the audience stopped their heated discussion one after another. Section 27. You are listening at novelfull.audio. For a moment, the entire classroom was even quieter than before. I don't know how long it took, but De Huang was the first to react. He suddenly jumped up, kept beating his chest and shouted like a madman. I didn't expect that I would be able to teach students like this in my lifetime, ha 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 ha. The students in the audience were immediately startled. They were all listening to the class teacher talking to himself without speaking. After being excited for a few minutes, De Huang realized his gaffe and slowly calmed down. He said in a very solemn voice. Students, today we will witness history, the history of Class 7, Grade 3, the history of Jinling City and even the history of China. That he cleared his throat here, paused, and said affectionately in an extremely contagious voice. Lu Qingchen, Class 7, Grade 3, ranked first in the country. As soon as he finished speaking, the whole class fell silent. Everyone, look at me and I look at you, one of the students asked uncertainly. Teacher, are you saying that Lu Qingchen's martial arts test scores are number 1 in the country? Am I still lying to you? Come and see for yourselves. As soon as he finished speaking, the whole class rushed to the podium, and the student who just asked the question was the first one. Looking closely at the display screen, it turned out to be those 5 big characters. I saw him murmuring, Lu Qingchen is actually number 1 in the country. Before he finished speaking, he was squeezed out by others until the nth person finished reading. It was only the later classmates who completely believed this unimaginable fact. After a while, countless students began to yell, although it was not about the ranking they had achieved, but after I went out, I said that my classmate ranked first in the country in Wuhan University's assessment. He was my good buddy. How majestic. The classroom was still boiling, and suddenly many school leaders came outside the classroom door. The voices of the excited students in the class suddenly became quieter. But the excitement on his face still couldn't be concealed. These school leaders were not angry because the students were making noise. I saw a leader who had accompanied Lu Qingchen and the others to the martial arts exam come out and said with a smile on his face. I heard that the Wuhan University assessment results rankings have come out, and Principal Jiang came here to visit the students who took the Wuhan University assessment before. By the way, I would like to help you check the results. I saw a middle-aged man who was nearly 40 years old but looked energetic walking out of the crowd. holding some gift boxes in his hand. At this moment, he smiled at several students taking the Wuhan University assessment on the podium and said, "Dear classmates, you have worked hard in the martial arts exam. This is a little thought from me. Please accept it. Who are Lu Qingchen and Yushan?" Lu Qingchen and Yushan saw their leader asking themselves, and they walked straight forward. The principal in front of him quickly handed the gift box to Lu Qingchen and Yushan, patted their shoulders and said, "You have done very well, and you have made the college look good. There will be rewards for you when the results come out this time." When he heard that rewards were being distributed, Lu Qingchen was just about to say a few polite words. Before he could speak, Yushan was already grinning at the principal in front of him and said, "Wherever there is, this is what we should do." After saying that, he scratched his head and looked honest. The leaders behind them handed several other gift boxes to Hongbing and others. After several people shouted "Thank you, leader," they stood aside and said no more. Principal Jiang rubbed his hands and said to the head teacher Huang, "Teacher Huang, it's past 6 o'clock now. Do you think we can check the students' scores?" But I thought that the students below would be more excited when they heard about checking their scores, but unexpectedly they all became calm, as everyone who knew in advance that Lu Qingchen was at the top of the list. They were not as anxious as the leaders. "I saw," the head teacher Huang said slowly. "Principal Jiang, we have checked the scores of students in our class." "So fast. Teacher Huang, you are so efficient. Tell me how your classmates did in this assessment." That I saw the head teacher's anger sinking into his dantian, and he said slowly and deeply, First. What first?" Several leaders thought they heard wrongly and asked again. "Number one is number one." De Huang, the head teacher, started to pretend. "What number one thing do you mean?" At this time, Principal Jiang began to say anxiously. At this time, there was another sound of brisk footsteps outside the classroom. Lu Yen walked forward with brisk steps. As soon as she arrived at the door of the classroom, she saw many leaders there. Ignoring the intentions of the leaders, I scanned the whole class and finally spotted Lu Qingchen behind Yushan, so with a bright smile on his face, he walked straight over. At this time, everyone in the class made way for Lu Yen. Everyone knew that this tutor came from 3 prestigious schools and did not dare to offend her. Lu Yen slowly walked up to Lu Qingchen and said with a sweet smile, "Little guy, oh no, you should be called a famous person now, right?" Lu Yen teased Lu Qingchen, and her face suddenly became serious. "From today on, everyone should call you number one in the country." As soon as the words fell, all the leaders reacted one after another, stared at Lu Qingchen, and said loudly in unison, "Number one in the country and top in the martial arts exam." At this moment, Lu Qingchen ignored everyone, but smiled at Lu Yen and said, "Teacher Lu Yen, is this surprise for you bigger than before?" Lu Yen suddenly thought of what she had said in a bet with Lu Qingchen before, and was stunned for a moment. Seeing Lu Qingchen staring at him with a smile, he couldn't help but blush. Recalling Lu Qingchen's malicious smile that time, he couldn't help but scolded. "What's the top of the martial arts test? He's just a little kid with no guts." After saying that, regardless of everyone's shocked looks, he hid his pretty red face and hurried out of the classroom. At this moment, everyone looked at Lu Qingchen, who was inevitably a little embarrassed. I was speechless for a while, wishing I could find a crack in the ground and crawl into it. Senior sister mistook me. My whole life was wise, Lu Qingchen shouted in his heart. Yushan was dumbfounded at this moment. He thought Brother Chen was already very powerful before. Unexpectedly, the demeanor at this moment is even worse than before. The students who were in their 3rd year of high school were of course full of energy. At this moment, they saw such a beautiful teacher Lu Yen blushing in front of Lu Qingchen. Regardless of the leaders present, they all let out cries of ghosts and howls, and in an instant the classroom became a mess. At this moment, Principal Jiang also reacted and murmured to himself, "Qingchen number 1 middle school will become famous in the future." I saw Huang, the head teacher, standing aside, looking into the distance and sighing deeply. After this incident, Lu Qingchen's name should be unknown to everyone. Chapter 32 Become famous in one fell swoop. After this time, everyone should know Lu Qingchen's name. At this moment, in a luxurious villa in Kyoto, since the results could not be checked until 6 o'clock, a sinister-looking student with a pockmarked face was waiting anxiously in the living room. As soon as 6 o'clock arrives, immediately enter your ID number to check your results. National ranking, 12. I am only ranked 12th. Which 11 students are qualified to be ranked in front of me? The sinister-looking student's face gradually became distorted. If Lu Qingchen were here at this moment, he would notice it. This person was clearly Yao Qingwu, who sent people to assassinate them after a conflict with him. China Military Department, a young man who is extremely strong and has a strong physique that can compete with Yushan, is looking at the rankings in front of him. He rubbed his hands and said excitedly, I don't know who the 9 people in front of me are. I'm really looking forward to it. The national ranking was clearly displayed on the screen, 10.at this moment. The scene of inquiry results is being staged in various places across the country. Some people are happy, some are sad. Of course, Lu Qingchen and Yushan have already escaped from the classroom at this moment, under so many weird looks. Even Lu Qingchen, who topped the National Martial Arts exam, couldn't stand it. As for what his classmates and school leaders said to the outside world, he didn't bother to care. Section 28. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lu Qingchen and Yushan were walking on their way home, when they passed by Uncle Wu's antique shop. Uncle Wu was lying on a chair at the door in the sun. Seeing 2 figures approaching slowly, Uncle Wu thought that there were customers and stood up in a hurry. When he stood up and saw that it was Lu Qingchen and Yushan, he ran into the store without taking the chair. The door was closed with a snap, and a wooden sign with the words closed was hung at the door. Lu Qingchen and Yushan were speechless. It was just a leak, so what? He. On the way, Lu Qingchen had heard a lot of gossip. Have you heard that the test results of Wuhan University can be checked? Ah. Really? I'll go back and check my eldest son's results now. I heard that those who can enter the top 10,000 are all top geniuses, that a middle-aged woman in her 40s said mysteriously. Really? But I heard that the top 20,000 candidates are all geniuses, that a middle-aged man said half-believingly. I'm not lying to you. My son is ranked 9,999th in the country. He is a genius ranked within 10,000, that the middle-aged woman in her 40s said proudly. Congratulations, congratulations. Several people nearby gave their blessings perfunctorily, and then hurried to their homes. They were also anxious to check their children's scores. Lu Qingchen saw many such cases along the way, and couldn't help but shook his head helplessly. Yushan next to him joked. If they knew that the first in the country passed by them, I don't know how surprised they would be. Lu Qingchen laughed and scolded. Don't play tricks on me, kid. Aren't you also the first except for the top 10? Yushan's face immediately turned black, and he couldn't be sarcastic like this. It was too discouraging. I heard from Hong Bing that the national ranking list will be released at 12 o'clock tonight. You will probably be famous by then. Keep a low profile. This only represents the initial results. Teacher Lu Yen said before that there is still a soul warrior who has cultivated a soul tank to the top of this world. Lu Qingchen said righteously. Yushan scratched his head and smiled maliciously. I don't know whether a soul tank can be cultivated to the top of martial arts, but I know that after tonight, Uncle Lu and Auntie will be busy. The door of your house will probably be trampled. Seeing Yushan's face gloating, Lu Qingchen spread his hands, feeling helpless. Don't forget that you and I are in the same community, and you are also the 11th. Yushan. Qingchen Community, Building 2, 502. As soon as Lu Qingchen returned home, Xia Lan, wearing an apron, hurried out of the kitchen. Xiaochen is back. Wash your hands first. We'll be ready for dinner later. After Lu Qingchen washed his hands, he sat at the dining table with his father and waited for dinner. Lu Changting smiled and said. Xiaochen, I heard them say outside today that we can check the results at 6 o'clock, is that true? It's true, Dad, the class teacher has already checked it for us at school. When Lu Changting heard this, he was shocked and asked quickly. How are your grades? Are you in the top 100? Lu Qingchen said helplessly. How could your son be in the top 100? At least he should be in the top 10. Smelly boy, tell me how much it is, Lu Qingchen said seriously. First. I told you to tell me your real grades, not to joke with me. It's first, I'm serious. Lu Qingchen said sincerely. At this time, Xiaolan came over with a plate and asked. What are you talking about, first or not? Lu Chongting said with some difficulty. We are talking about the ranking of the National Martial Arts exam results. Oh, I thought it was something. What did you say? Xiaolan suddenly widened her eyes. Xiao Qin said he ranked first in the martial arts exam, and I told him not to joke. At this time, his parents looked at Lu Qingchen in disbelief, and Lu Qingchen felt under great pressure. He could only say helplessly. I didn't lie to you, your son is really the first. Although Xiaolan and Lu Chongting believed in their son very much, no one would dare to believe that he ranked first in the whole of China. Seeing that his parents still didn't believe him after telling the truth, Lu Qingchen could only give up resistance. I heard that the list of the National Martial Arts exam will be released at 12 o'clock in the evening, and you will know it then. So, after finishing his meal, Lu Qingchen went back to his room to practice. His parents stayed in front of the computer after finishing their meal. Seeing that it was almost 12 o'clock, Lu Qingchen came out of his cultivation state and walked straight to the study. Before he entered, he was startled by his parents in the room. He saw the two elders lying on the table and staring at the display screen. As soon as 12 o'clock came, the two immediately clicked to query. The results showed that there were too many people on the page. Seeing this display, Lu Chongting frantically clicked to refresh the page. Finally, after persisting and frantically clicking dozens of times, the list was successfully refreshed. Lu Qingchen saw that his father's eyes were looking from the bottom up, and his mother was the same. National ranking 10, Luo Zhan, national ranking 9, Mu Ningyue, national ranking 8, Ouyang Lai. National ranking 3, Morong Qingqing, national ranking 2, Leng Qianjue, national ranking 1, Lu Qingchen. That I saw Lu Chongting and Xiaolan staring at each other with their eyes wide open, and then they said in unison in surprise. Xiaochen is really the first. At this time, voices rang out from all over the country. In Sichuan area, in the God of War Academy. I am only ranked 8th, and I don't know what kind of monsters are ahead of me. But Luo Zhan is only 10th, ha 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 ha. A young man with short red hair laughed wildly. At the same time, the headquarters of the Chinese Investigation Department. Why is this girl ranked 9th? Is it really like what my mother said that this year is a year of geniuses? And Leng Qianjue is only 2nd, who is this first place? A tall girl murmured. Who is this Lu Qingchen? He can actually suppress so many geniuses and take the top spot. At this moment, no matter which faction the genius is from, they are curious about who Lu Qingchen is. For a time, Lu Qingchen's name was circulated among countless people. Chapter 33 Unlocking New Functions. At this moment, Lu Qingchen's parents were already stunned. They didn't expect that their son would actually be the top of the Wuhan University assessment. Lu Chongting swallowed his saliva and asked with some difficulty. Xiaochen, what is your score? What martial spirit did you awaken to be ranked first? Mother Xiaolan also stared at her eldest son seriously. Section 29. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Seeing that his parents were very curious, Lu Qingchen didn't deliberately hide it, and his thoughts moved. The three-legged golden crow and the jade divine lotus of creation appeared. Xia Lan's eyes were instantly attracted to the white jade-like lotus. There are 12 green lotus leaves as a backdrop, and the flower has 24 petals. Sure enough, girls all like beautiful things. Lu Qingchen sighed in his heart. Lu Chongting was also attracted by the bright 7 soul slots on the jade god lotus soul at first, but after a moment, his eyes suddenly looked at the three-legged golden crow, and his eyes froze instantly. There was only one extremely bright groove on the three-legged golden crow, but it was twice as big as the ordinary soul groove. With Lu Chongting's knowledge, he guessed almost instantly, the supreme martial spirit. His son turned out to be the supreme martial spirit. No wonder my martial spirit evolved on the day of my son's assessment. Lu Chongting thought to himself. After a while, Lu Chongting said in a deep voice. Okay, Xiaochen, put your martial spirit away. Remember, before you lose the ability to protect yourself, try not to reveal your second martial soul, otherwise if someone knows about it, the consequences will be disastrous. Lu Qingchen nodded. Except for Han Meng and Lu Yan, they only appeared during the martial soul awakening ceremony, but no one paid attention at the time, and the examiner present didn't know what kind of martial spirit it was. As for why he became the first in the martial arts exam, maybe it's because he is a twin martial arts spirit. Just as he was reminiscing in his mind, Lu Changting continued. Xiaochen, it's a good thing that you have awakened your twin martial souls, so that you have the foundation to become a top powerhouse. But what I want to say is that the most important thing in the path of martial arts is to have an unyielding heart. Whether you are a genius or an ordinary person, you will have your own difficulties. What you have to do is to continue to strengthen your heart until it is indestructible. We must strive for the path of a warrior. When an opportunity is in front of us, we must fight for it. After embarking on this path, cultivation resources will become extremely important. What's more, your own martial arts talent is extremely high, and the resources you need may be several times or even dozens of times that of others. At this moment, Lu Changting's face suddenly became a little solemn. But no matter what, your mother and I still hope you live a good life. But since you have chosen this path, we will definitely support you. Remember, while fighting, you must first ensure your own safety. Only by living can you become a top expert. It was the first time that Lu Qingchen saw his father talking to him so much, so he nodded and said. Dad, I understand, don't worry. I will work hard to fight for what I have to fight for, and I will put my own safety first. Lu Changting and Xiao Lan were relieved when they saw that their son answered seriously. After all, as a 7-foot man, it is impossible to live under the wings of his parents forever. Moreover, Lu Changting knew that his son had his own ideas, as evidenced by the fact that he topped the martial arts examination. It's late, Mom and Dad, you should go back to your room and rest early. You should be busy tomorrow. Lu Qingchen said to his parents with a smile. Ha 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 ha, your mother and I will book a hotel early tomorrow morning. Then you can invite all your classmates over for a drink. Lu Changting laughed, and Xiao Lan also had a happy smile in her eyes. Every parent wants their children to be better than others, even soul warriors. Ding, congratulations to the host for unlocking the achievement number 1 in the National Martial Arts Examination to reward 100 achievement points. The lucky wheel is now open. Suddenly hearing the sound of the system, Lu Qingchen stopped chatting with his parents. He said you guys go to bed early and hurried back to the room. I returned to my room, sat on the bed and thought about it, opened the information panel. I only saw that a lucky wheel function was added to the panel. When I clicked on it, I found that there were many colors. System, please introduce this new function. The next moment, a mechanical synthesis sounded. Because the host has achieved a hidden achievement, new features have been unlocked. The host can use the achievement points to draw prizes in the lucky wheel. Then how should I use it? A lottery requires 100 achievement points. When you need to draw, the host can just mentally recite it silently. It's a good system. Let me ask if there are any hidden functions. Let me reveal them in advance. Lu Qingchen became a little curious. This system always brought him surprises. Yes, there is still a malfunction that has not been unlocked. It will be automatically opened when the host completes the first system task. The mechanical synthesizer voice continued. Oh. Are there any more missions? When will the mission be released? The system will release a task every time the host reaches a major realm. There will be rewards for completing the task. The time for releasing the task is random. After a conversation, Lu Qingchen finally understood. Every time you break through a major realm, a task will be released, and you can get rewards by completing the task. By the way, what will happen if the task is not completed? Lu Qingchen was a little worried. If you don't complete the task, you will automatically drop to a small level. The mechanical synthesized voice said without emotion. It's acceptable. Lu Qingchen murmured to himself. Compared to erasing the host, this system is still very gentle. Lu Qingchen's thoughts moved and he carefully examined the lucky wheel. It is similar to an ordinary turntable, with a total of 7 areas of the same size. It was divided into 7 colors, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. Lu Qingchen looked left and right but didn't observe anything. He silently said lottery in his heart and saw the white pointer slowly turning on the roulette wheel. After a while, it stopped in the blue area. Ding, congratulations to the host for obtaining the immortal level technique, Ice Phoenix Sealing Heaven Classic. Ding. The task has been opened. Give the Ice Phoenix Sealing Heaven Classic to the first master before the next great realm. Task completion reward, unlock the mall function, Soul Stone Star. Lu Qingchen smacked his lips. This task was relatively easy, although I don't know what level the immortal level technique is. I know it's high-end as soon as I hear the name. It's simple to give the technique to the master, but how to explain the source of the technique? Lu Qingchen shook his head and didn't think about it for the time being. Anyway, it's still early. He also sat cross-legged on the bed and gradually entered the state of cultivation. The golden crow and the emperor dragon hovered around him, and an extremely fiery and noble aura emanated from Lu Qingchen. No words were spoken that night. Chapter 34. This is a misunderstanding. The next day, 6 o'clock in the morning. Xiaochen, your father and I went out to book a hotel. Breakfast is on the table. Remember to eat some when you get up later. Lu Qingchen was still immersed in the state of cultivation, and suddenly heard his mother's voice coming from outside the door. Then he heard a click, which should be the sound of the door closing. Seeing that the sky outside was already bright, Lu Qingchen stopped practicing, got up, washed up and went straight to the dining table. At this moment, Lu Qingchen was chewing the sauce-flavored cake in his hand, and suddenly remembered that he had not read the admission standards of various martial arts universities. So he quickly picked up the soy milk and went to the study to check the admission standards. Without checking other martial arts universities, Lu Qingchen's goal was simple and direct, and he directly checked the admission standards of the 3 famous universities. Some curiosity opened the official website of the God of War Academy and directly clicked on the admission policy. The enrollment standards of the God of War Academy in Seoul Martial Arts 388.1. Students ranked in the top 3,000 in the National Martial Arts Exam, including the 3,000th. Point 2. Students with a talent test of Earth grade or above, including Earth grade. Point 3. Students with a strength test of more than 3,000 kilograms, the martial soul has at least 3 soul slots. Point 4. Students with an awakened martial soul with more than 5 soul slots, including 5. Point 5. Students with awakened food-type martial souls, no standard. Note, anyone who meets any of the above conditions can apply for the God of War Academy. In Seoul Martial Arts 388, the Academy is expected to enroll 1,000 students and select the best. The top 100 can enjoy key training. Lu Qingchen had some impression that the 3 famous schools never seemed to enroll more than 1,000 students in the past few years. This year, the enrollment has increased so much compared to last year, Lu Qingchen thought secretly. Next, Lu Qingchen checked the enrollment standards of the Heavenly Tao Holy Academy and the Monster Academy. The enrollment standards are similar. The only difference is that the Monster Academy is expected to enroll 1,500 students in Seoul Martial Arts 388, as expected of Wuhan University, which is backed by the Alchemist Association. It is really rich and powerful. Section 30. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Dong dong dong. At this time, there was a sudden knock on the door of his house. Lu Qingchen thought it was his parents who were back, and hurriedly ran to open the door. As soon as I opened the door, I found a 2-meter-tall strong man standing at the door. No, he should be a 2-meter-tall student. It was Yushan, followed by Yushan's parents. Good morning, Brother Chen. Yushan was about to say hello to Lu Qingchen, but he didn't expect that his brother Chen didn't even look at him. Hello, Uncle Yu. Hello, Auntie. Come in and sit down. Lu Qingchen hurriedly welcomed Yushan's parents into the home, leaving Yushan standing alone outside the door in a mess. Lu Qingchen quickly tidied up the living room and motioned for Yushan's parents to sit on the sofa. Then I hurriedly made tea. When Lu Qingchen brought the tea, Yushan's father praised. Xiaochen is such a sensible kid, and he ranks first in the country in martial arts exams, unlike our Yushan. Hey! As soon as he finished speaking, someone knocked on the door again. Lu Qingchen quickly stepped forward to open the door again. Standing at the door were head teacher Da Huang and many school leaders. Hurrying to welcome everyone in, Yushan saw that they were the school leaders and greeted them quickly. Hello teacher, hello leaders. Many leaders were beaming with joy at this moment. It made them feel more proud to have two geniuses in the top 100 in the country shouting like this. As a young man from the 5 poisons in his previous life, he was very good at playing tricks on the spot. After a few polite remarks, the guests clapped and praised him again and again. I don't know how long it took, but Qingchen finally heard the familiar footsteps of his parents. He quickly opened the door, explained in a low voice to his parents the origin of the guest, and then went straight to the room. I don't know how long it took, but Qingchen heard someone leaving and quickly ran out to take a look. The people in the school had left, and only Yushan's family was left. The 6 of us had a good meal at noon. After everyone left, Qingchen sighed. As expected of being number 1 in the country, more people are expected to come tomorrow. Qingchen smiled and said, Dad, where did you and Mom book a hotel for this morning? At the largest hotel in Qingchen, many people made reservations and almost couldn't get a place in the queue. Later, when I said that my son ranked first in the National Martial Arts exam, the hotel manager came in person and let us book the venue directly without charging a penny. Qingchen said with excitement, as if he was the one who got the first place in the country. Xia Lan couldn't help laughing and said, Your dad is like this. At that time, everyone around him looked at him with envy. He talked to those people for a long time and almost couldn't bear to come back. That when Qingchen heard what his mother said, he couldn't help laughing. Your mother and I are going to send out invitations now, and there will be a college entrance banquet tomorrow. Qingchen was full of energy and high spirits. As expected of one of the 3 most prestigious schools, the efficiency is really fast. Not long after Qingchen's parents left, the admission notice was already delivered to their door. What surprised Qingchen was that the admission notice was sent to him by Lu Yan. Ever since, there was a beautiful tutor in the family. The two chatted without incident. By the way, senior sister, when are we going to Tiandao Holy Courtyard? Qingchen asked curiously. He had read many novels in his previous life and was very attracted to martial arts. Lu Yan took a sip of the tea made by Qingchen, continued to eat melon seeds, and said slowly. Don't worry, it should be these 2 days, except for you and Yushan. Just wait for the other 2 little girls to receive the admission notice and then they can set off. The other 2? Who else besides Su Man, senior sister? Qingchen didn't react for a moment. There is also that girl named Su Muting. She also applied for our Tiandao Holy Academy before the 3000th place. Lu Yan said with a smile that she was very satisfied with her results in this enrollment task. Qingchen felt a little dizzy when he heard it was Su Muting. Lu Yan saw Qingchen's expression was strange, and the fire of gossip in her heart instantly burned up, so she asked very curiously. What's wrong? Could it be that Su Muting is you? Qingchen was so frightened by these words that he waved his hands and quickly changed the subject. Tomorrow I will hold a college entrance banquet at the Golden Eagle Hotel. Senior sister must come to give me a favor. Lu Yan glared at him angrily. She was very dissatisfied with Qingchen, who changed the subject. After continuing to chat for 2 hours. It's getting late, I'll go back first. Lu Yan looked at the sky outside, then stood up and prepared to leave. Qingchen quickly went to help her open the door. It didn't matter if she opened it. Unexpectedly, Qingchen and Xia Lan were standing outside the door. The 2 parents looked through Qingchen to Lu Yan behind him, and a kind smile suddenly appeared on their faces. Not bad, Xiaochen, which beautiful girl is this? Please introduce us to her. That when Qingchen heard that the secret was not good, he forced a smile on his face. Dad, Mom, this is a misunderstanding. Chapter 35 Banquet. Just when Qingchen didn't know how to explain, Lu Yan said generously. Hello, Uncle and Aunt, I am the martial arts instructor in Qingchen's class. I am here today to give him the admission notice of Tiandao Holy Academy. Then he showed a sweet smile, stared at Qingchen half smilingly and said. Student Qingchen is very outstanding. I believe he will shine even if he goes to Tiandao Saint Academy, right, student Qingchen? Seeing the mischievous smile on his senior sister's face, Qingchen quickly responded enthusiastically. Yes, Dad and Mom, this is my teacher. This is the martial arts instructor in my class, she has worked so hard today, and she even came to my house to deliver the admission letter. Lu Qingchen's parents have rich experience in dealing with people. Lu Qingchen and Lu Yan's conversation made Lu Chongting and his wife feel that there was a story. So Xia Lan smiled and took Lu Yan's hand and said, Teacher Lu, you have worked so hard. I often hear Xiaoqin mention you. Stay at home for dinner tonight. Although Lu Yan is a mentor at Tiandao Saint Academy, she is only a little older than Lu Qingchen. At this moment, seeing that Lu Qingchen's mother was so enthusiastic, it was difficult to refuse, and she sat back on the sofa half-heartedly. Lu Qingchen's scalp was numb at the moment, and he couldn't escape this meal anyway. Compared to Lu Qingchen, Lu Yan was even more nervous at the moment. After all, this was the first time to eat at a person of the opposite sex's home, and Lu Qingchen's parents were at home. Although generally at this age, people would understand some things, but after all, they were eating with Lu Qingchen's family. Lu Yan was inevitably a little nervous. However, Lu Qingchen's mother had a very good personality, and soon she started chatting and laughing with Lu Yan. Lu Qingchen was sitting next to him, crossing his legs, eating melon seeds and watching TV, looking very happy. As for Lu Chongting, of course he went to cook. After all, only women can chat with each other. If he came, it is estimated that the three of them would only stare at each other. In this relaxed atmosphere, time still passed very quickly, at least Lu Qingchen felt so. It seemed that only more than 10 minutes had passed, and Lu Qingchen saw his father coming out with a plate. Soon, the table was filled with food, hot dishes, soup, cold dishes, everything. Lu Qingchen ate a pair of chicken wings and said vaguely, Dad, when did you learn to cook? Why didn't I know? At this moment, Lu Chongting and Xia Lan were constantly picking up food for Lu Yan. Mom picked up food and said with concern, Xiao Yan, eat more, you look thin. Although a girl's figure is important, she can't be too thin. In fact, Lu Yan's figure is not as Xia Lan said. As a soul warrior and a goddess-level figure in Tianyuan, Lu Yan's figure is definitely worthy of that beautiful and charming face. Lu Yan's dress today is very simple and casual. She wears a t-shirt with cartoon patterns on her upper body. She wears a pair of denim shorts that reach above the knees. Her legs are slender and white. She has a slender figure, long hair cascading down like a waterfall, a pair of eyes as charming as a fox, and curved eyebrows. But in the eyes of Lu Qingchen's mother, such a beautiful girl might be her future daughter-in-law, so she kept picking up food for Lu Yan, so that Lu Yan's bowl was piled high. Lu Qingchen looked resentful beside him, wondering who was the biological child. After dinner, Xia Lan talked to Lu Yan again, and Lu Chongting went to wash the dishes silently. Seeing that it was getting late, Lu Yan got up and prepared to go back. As soon as she stepped out of the door, she heard Xia Lan shouting, Xiao Yan, come often when you are free in the future. Xiao Qin will be handed over to you in the future. Lu Qingchen was very upset after hearing this, but Lu Yan still responded gently.